everyone. Welcome to the Vellum. I am Paul Sisler, hosting In the Moment, and here is Cornelia Blackmore. Hello, Cornelia. How you doing today?
Hi, I am fan-fucking-tastic. How are you?
I am fan-fucking-tastic also. Absolutely. All right. So let's get those vulgarities out of the way. Loving
Indeed.
it. Yes, loving it. And of course, this is going to be a wild show today. Don't you think?
Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is
Wow.
y'all have made a mistake. Y'all have made a mistake because I started reading. Y'all fucked up. Let y'all know that now.
All right. All right. Well, I see that we got some people coming in. We got some comments already. Let's see. Oh, some A's and some happies and some hearts. And all right, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Well, today, our special guest is someone that I met on Twitter Spaces. This person is the glue to creating communities. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes. Yes, I would. Because that's
Yes.
what I said.
This person is absolutely fabulous. This
Oh
person is an
yeah.
organizer. This person is a gatherer, someone that has great humor, even though he doesn't really give himself that much credit for it, but has great humor, a little dry sometimes. Our guest today is L.R. Evans, author of Lucid. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce everyone to L.R. Evans.
Hey
Hello,
guys,
Luke. How are you today?
I'm happy. I've been singing Christmas songs for like the past week, and I don't know why because it's in October. So I'm wearing a Christmas cat sweater.
Oh, Christmas already? No, no,
Right.
we haven't even
I
had
know
Serious.
it's
Halloween
not my
yet.
fault. Me and Aldi was just going, have yourself. Why? Why?
Right.
All right, all right. So I'm going to get things started here.
Okay.
You have the book Lucid, Rim World Trilogy book. Yes, yes. Everyone, it's on Amazon. Please, please, please support this wonderful author and purchase it today.
It's
Now,
also on Kindle Unlimited
oh, there you go. There
for the
you
poor
go.
people like me.
All right. Now, before I turn this show over to Cornelia to have fun and go crazy, I'm going to get the initial questions out of the way. Luke, who are you? Where are you from? And kind of give me a little backstory.
Name is a point of contention at the moment. I go by Luke, Luca, and my dead name that I just don't put it in the author world anymore. Because I've had like a year of like kind of working with my gender identity. So the name itself, you just asking my name is like a stumper. So that's fun. You can call me Legion, for I am many. Um, so you asked about my name and where I'm from. I am, in theory, from Ohio, but we all know that Ohio doesn't exist. So I just kind of live in that like void space between Indiana and Pennsylvania, up there near the Great Lakes. And my story, I'm guessing you're talking about writing related. I will say that I started writing when I was really, really young, and it was just kind of like a way for me to express myself in a safe space, and it developed over time from there. And I've always wanted to be an author.
Excellent, excellent. I love it.
I hit them
Love
all.
it.
So many
So,
questions, my working memory.
we know we all know Ohio doesn't exist. We
It
know
doesn't.
Ohio doesn't exist. It's part of a fantasy story. Wake up, wake up. But no,
Reading the comments.
uh,
Elbow
Right.
cough, elbow cough.
I have
Mhm.
listened to you read in spaces. Your work is phenomenal. I love you. I'm going to turn it over now to Cornelia. Cornelia, take it away.
First off, what it do, homie?
How you doing, bitch?
I'm just saying, I had to start there first.
We're good. I'm already regretting wearing the sweater. I'm like, oh my god, it's hot.
It's like it's itchy, it's hot, it's a little uncomfortable. It's fine.
But it's cute. It's ugly, but I love it. I love everything.
I don't know. Y'all already know, like, my book, The Saints Blood's coming out, and I don't care for Christmas at all. In fact, I can't stand it. So that's the whole theme of this book. I can't stand it.
See, for Christmas, for me, like, it's a stressful period. It's like, hey, you got to hurry up and buy like all these gifts and stuff like that. And my family, they don't like really, care if like you buy them something big or whatever. But like, I want to get them something nice because I love them. You know what I mean? So it's like stressful for me because I'm like, not only do I got to pay the electric bill, but gotta go drop like $200-$300 on gifts. I'm cheap, but I try not to be like too cheap.
I refuse that stress. No, absolutely not. Can't stand it. Refuse it. No.
But the only thing I do like about Christmas is the Christmas songs. I love sing-alongs, right? Everybody knows Christmas songs. Everyone knows Christmas songs. So I'll just start singing and everybody will sing with me. I love sing-alongs. So that's why I do it.
Oh, let's hear you sing. Let's hear you sing. Go on, Jim.
No, I got bullied off TikTok because I started like singing. No, some bitch gets in my fucking thing and goes like, "Stop singing! What the fuck?" And I was like, I replied back to him last night, like, "Oh man, there goes my dreams of being on Broadway." Like, that wasn't my dream. And then I noticed that 6 other people waiting. I was like, "Only me, only me, only me." No, I'm not. I don't know. Only in Twitter Spaces, y'all. You guys are the only ones that get to hear my raspy ass dying cat voice anymore. Who did that though?
Me.
But you're reading my book, and I fucking love all of these comments, the real-time comments that you were putting in my text.
Listen.
So you were reading. Love that.
Yes, I was. I was sending you real time. Excuse me. I'm not allowed to record myself like reading someone else's work, because then if I did, I would just sound like a crazy person. It would be like silence, silence, silence. Oh shit! Silence, silence, silence. Oh my god! Silence, silence, silence. Laughing for no fucking reason. Like, that is that's literally how I read books. And then sometimes I'll have to pause and have like an internal monologue with myself. Like, when I just realized at some point that Julian maybe just is not going to stop getting fucked up, I was hurting for this character. I was like, damn, what did Julian do to deserve this? Did he piss you off? Like,
hold on. We have a question from one of the people in the chat from T-Paw's Playground. Meow.
It's more of a statement, really, but I'll accept it.
Okay.
This is just gonna be nothing but meowing noises.
That's it. It's just gonna be the majority of the show. Question. Okay. So, okay. Remember how I mentioned to you, like, I think I texted you and I said, I noticed that Julian's character voice kind of changes as the story progresses. Was that intentional? I don't think I had asked you that. And if I didn't ask you this in text messages, I was going to ask you this today.
You did ask me in text, but I take it as rhetorical questions when somebody asks me something, because I've noticed that when people had asked me questions before, they didn't really want an answer. They were like, please don't spoil it. Why would you tell me? Because you asked me. So I just didn't. As far as the voice change, I started doing that, but I didn't really follow through hardcore on it. So it wasn't something I was really focused on. Towards the end of the book, and I'm not spoiling, but you'll start noticing there's a scene where he starts using really modern language. He knows what shit is. He uses the word elevator. He's like, how the fuck do I know the word elevator? What the fuck is, did I always know this? And so it is because of that. So I'm not going to ruin everything, but it was semi-intentional, but not totally. What you're probably noticing is what my editor caught, because I used to write out all of Julian's dialogue without any contractions to make him sound more English.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
Gotcha.
I cannot believe this is happening. Changes to I can't believe this is happening sometimes.
That's just how my.
Yeah, so I just try to add it. I just tried to add in some contractions because my editor, she's brilliant. Jody Jensen, by the way, if you guys are looking for an editor, she's great. But anyway, she brought that up, so I started adding in some more contractions. That way, it wasn't so stilted for her to read. Because I did experience that with some other readers as well in the beta stage.
Gotcha. So but okay. Something else I've been meaning to ask you, because I identify as a plantser, and I'm just gonna like briefly kind of explain this to excuse me, anyone that's not a part of the writing community. There's an overall vague term that we kind of use in the indie author writing community, which is pantser, plotter, or plantser. And basically the plotter is the writer type that tends to outline the story before they start the writing of the actual story. A pantser is someone that takes a general idea, doesn't outline anything, and then tends to just jump right into the story. And a plantser happens to be somewhere in between, or you're figuring it out as you're writing. So that's what I mean when I'm asking Luke, what is your predominant writing style, and which one did you use when you were writing Lucid?
I have a lot of thoughts per second, and they're not all of it to what I'm doing. It's just like a fucking whirlwind fucking storm up here. It's a hurricane. It's chaos. I fucking love it. Don't get me wrong. But when I'm trying to write, if I've tried being a pantser before, just sitting and just writing it from chapter 1, and I'll get like 30 pages in, and I'll be like, what was I doing? Like, where was this going? What was the original idea? I forget everything. I'm gone. I am in the clouds. Someone has let go of the balloon. So for me, I have to write everything. I even characters, like their personalities and shit, not only to better connect with my characters and understand their background and where they came from and everything, I will have my characters trauma dump on me in long form. Like I'll write out their whole fucking story. I'll know exactly every little fucking ouchie they had in like their formative years, and understand everything that they came from. Because if I don't know that and they don't become real to me, all of a sudden I'm forgetting shit. So I make them as real and true to me as possible. That way I don't forget them, because you forget a lot, but you don't forget the truth. Julian and Miles and Adrian and all of them, they are as real to me as you guys, which is probably why I'm going to get locked up eventually. At least I don't have to pay rent at that point.
So I'm taking that you're a plotter, like that you plot the stories beforehand. Okay, I am a plantser.
I mean, I will go off the reservation occasionally, but that always ends poorly, so badly. But I'll let myself do that sometimes. But if I start to like veer off of the reservation, I have to go back to my outline notebooks, which is what I was showing you. Like all these notebooks are just used for when I'm in the middle of writing and I go like, oh my God, what if I add this idea? And I'm like, let's go to the notebook first, bitch. Don't fuck up the book. And I go and I plan it out. And so that's the only plant thing I really do. I'm sorry. I sure do talk a lot, don't I?
No. That's why I said, listen, Luke, we love you. Like, this is why, like, we brought you onto the show. Plus, I love your work. Like, I'm already, okay, listen, at some point, I'm going to ask you, I need a release date. I don't know about everybody else, but I need a release date, okay? Like, for book 2. Okay, thanks. Like...
I am currently working on the sequel. I am ignoring all of my worldly responsibilities to work on the sequel right now. So it will eventually be that dirty homeless person at the library still fucking typing, because like I'm very poor. I've lost my shelter because I haven't focused on anything else. But it will be coming. I'm hoping like next year, like spring, summer. Probably summer. Ooh, maybe I can do a fall release. I don't know. Somewhere next year, y'all.
Okay. Listen. I will take that. I will absolutely take that. Absolutely. So, okay. Now, I feel like I should have asked this beforehand, but I was just so excited about your work. What exactly is your book about? And I know this is the most dreaded question that every single writer hates. But yeah.
The tagline is "Dreams are real and they can kill you." How I got this idea, it probably tells you about everything that you need to know. When we go to sleep at night, some people are able to, or there's anecdotal evidence that they are able to have out of body experiences or astrally project. So with them being able to leave their bodies, their spirits leave their bodies, and they travel to all over the world or even into other dimensions. That's where I got the idea. And I was like, what if every time that we went to sleep, we had a chance to go to some other dimension, but that dimension is where every world meets, all these parallel dimensions meet. And you meet all these aliens and shit like that. And what happens if that's the source of where everything comes from in the universe? So this one dimension, this meeting ground is the hub of the universe, and anything that happens there trickles out to all the other universes and all the other worlds. So World War II happened because of something that happened in RimWorld, you know what I mean? We discovered fire because of some shit that happened in fucking RimWorld, you know? And that's what this book is about. It follows Julian Desmond from the 18th century, who meets up, he just fucking wakes up with no fucking memory. You saw him. He wakes up in this world, no memory at all, face to face with a rock monster. Whoa, I'm out. I'm getting the fuck out of here. That statue just blinked. No dice. I'm out. So he tries to run off and everything, but then he finds out that his dreams are real and he's got to wake up and shit. And I'm not going to ruin the rest of it because I don't think that you've gotten to Laughing Man yet, have you?
No, I have not. Please don't spoil it. Okay, thanks.
I won't.
And I gotta tell you, this happens to be my favorite line, and it was the one that I posted on Twitter. Julian Desmond, 31 years old. He eats on a regular basis. One time he bought shoes. If this is the sum of his existence, he's unimpressed. Hey, yo, listen, I was no good. When I got to that line as I was reading, I was crying of laughter because I'm yes, I relate to this feeling. Yes, I relate to this feeling. Y'all, please get this book. I love this book. Just that was it for me.
I ordered it. Mine's supposed to get here on the 10th, so I'm excited.
Yes.
I love that line because it hit me in the feels too, but I didn't think anybody else would catch on to what that line was for me personally, because for real it was just that he couldn't really remember anything. That's what I expected everybody to take from it. I didn't think that they were gonna be traumatized like me and you. But it was, I wrote that line because I was thinking back on what have I accomplished in life? I'm it's fucking sad.
Right. Right, and I resonated with that line. I think that was why, I resonated with it, because it's if you really was to sit here and think about all the shit that you ever did in life, and you're no, that didn't fucking matter, and no, that didn't fucking matter either, and no, that really didn't fucking matter. And then it's you get to the point where he just says that one line, I'm unimpressed at myself. It's a great line. I loved it. I do. I loved it. I do. I feel Julian is such a relatable character for me. Okay. Again, Luke, you already know this about me. I cannot or have challenges writing a normal person. I can't write somebody that has a 9-to-5, average person. Julian, on the other hand, I would write a dude that would wake up in that situation and just immediately go for fight mode. This man literally went for flight mode. It was just we need to get the fuck up out of here. That being his first reaction, that was what hooked me. I thought that was brilliantly done. That's why I said I have reasons why I love your work, because that was it for me. It's just nope, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah, I just wanted him to not be the stupid girl in the horror movie. You know what I mean? A fucking statue just came to life and is trying to fucking talk to me. No. I'm going to leave now. don't think this is a good idea to stick around and have a conversation with the giant rock monster. I just
Like, we're not gonna do that. It's not very smart.
Okay.
No, I put myself in Julian. I would just try to like remind, like think about what I would realistically do in all the situations he was in, because like Julian is another part of me. He's the part of me that like I show on the that I'm more like on the inside, or like with people that aren't my friends. And Miles, or I'm not gonna ruin it, but Miles is more of the person that I am with my friends, the happy, hyper person that uses a bunch of slang and swear words and shit and gets in trouble.
Yes.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent again. Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right. That's
We
all
have
right.
questions in the comments.
Yes, I was going to start hitting some of the questions in the comments. First one that I have is from Tiana Johnson. Which character do you relate to the least?
Oh, I want to say the fucking villain, hardcore. He's the darkest parts of me that I will never, ever entertain, period. I mean, we all have the potential to be really dark, evil people. You know what I mean? And I think we recognize that in ourselves. It's the same thing as intrusive thoughts. You know what I mean? Like where you're going down the highway at 70 miles per hour in the passenger seat of a car, and you're like, you should unbuckle and just roll out. Like, bitch, why? I don't want to do that. Like we all have those really dark thoughts in the very back of our mind that we will never act on, but we have an imagination and we think about that shit. Like, what if we were? So Titus is probably the least relatable character to me. It's the darkest parts of what I could potentially be. He's genocidal. He's speciesist, which is basically racist except with species. He is very manipulative. He's a narcissist. He's what I could have been if I didn't learn from my mistakes when I was from my raising. Is basically what it is. And I feel like he's probably the one that I have the most trouble relating to, because I'm also kind of afraid of that path that I could have taken when I was a child. You know what I mean? Because we can't help our families. We can't help how we're raised in the environment that we're raised and stuff. And you guys know I'm not mean, okay? but he's hard to connect with. But I look forward to exploring his character more and just showcasing the worst of humanity, basically, with his character. And we're going to see more of that in book 2. And book 3, the last book, is going to be just balls to the fucking wall. His mask is going to fall, and it's going to be a fucking nightmare. But I'm also going to make you guys confused as fuck about it, because in book 2, you're going to think, like, if for the first half, it's going to be like, is he evil though? Like, I'm pulling an Anne Rice on y'all.
Oh my God. I was going to say, that's another thing. Like, as I'm reading this goddamn book, I'm like, teeth pull, teeth pull, teeth pull. Still don't know what the fuck is going on. Teeth pull, teeth pull. What the fuck is going on? I'm going to just keep you, just keep, because you want to know what's happening. I'm like, you goddamn right I want to know what's happening. Why the fuck ain't you telling me? So it's just me getting impatient, because I'm like, I need to know what's happening, and I'm getting no answers. I'm at chapter 6. I have clues and little tidbits and bits and pieces and a bunch of theories that don't make any fucking sense. But
see, that was actually something that I think I had one person who read it before I published it, and she actually counted that as a negative for the book. And I considered trying to like fix it, like go back and give some more answers and stuff in like the beginning. But I was like, no, I like the confusion. Like, this is what I enjoy reading. I want something that's not like I can see the ending coming. You know what I mean? Like, I want something where it still fucking stews and shit in my head. Like, that's my favorite kind of books to read. And and so that's why I just kind of left it like that. I hope it doesn't annoy you. I hope that you're actually
no.
That. Okay, cool.
No. That's why. Listen. For me, it was just one of those things. I know it's because of my ADHD that I am just one of those people where I'm like, please, someone, for the love of God, tell me what the fuck is happening. Like, give me something. Okay, I have a few keywords here and there. I have war, and then another group of people here, and another group of people here, and help.
Yeah. That's why I love those big tangly things where they don't give it away right away. And that's why I wrote it like that, because my mind's already going to go in a million directions, like make it challenging for me. So I tried to kind of drag it out just a little bit in the beginning and not quite give it all away. Like, here are some theories. Which one do you think is most plausible? And and have the reader kind of be involved in that decision process, or right along with Julian, because Julian confused the whole fucking time. Like, it could be this, it could be that. Should I trust this person or should I not? I don't know what the fuck's happening. Is this even real? Am I in a coma?
Oh my God. Also love following Julian's process, like his thought process as the book continues. Freaking genius. Go ahead, Paul.
I knew it was going to be hard to try to get a word in edgewise, but that's okay. I have a question for you based upon you answering this last question, because you talk about how everybody has a darkness in them. Okay. Everyone has these dark fantasies and stuff like that, because people in this world, I'm sorry, they piss you off. They make you angry. Sometimes you just want to strangle people. So my question is do you, because I myself, I take pleasure in writing my dark side, because it helps me release some of the anger and frustration that I have. So when you start writing that dark aspect of yourself into your books, do you also take pleasure in doing that because it's a release?
I do with some characters, not with Titus, because Titus is like the anti-social justice warrior, and I can't relate. You know what I mean? He's just this evil guy who's like, how you're born is all that fucking matters. Like, if you're a native born, if you were born in Rem, then you ain't shit. Yeah, you're supposed to be my slave, basically. That's what you're there for. You're dispensable. I'll just fucking kill you. That's who Titus is. So I can't with him, because like I don't even feel that really. Like, that's so far removed. I mean, we all have potential for that, as deep as we fucking go, because we have potential for everything. But the characters that I do take pleasure in writing, that are more on my dark side, is things like Geist, which is showing up soon. Cornelia will find him in like chapter 10. So plug your ears, Cornelia. Geist is he takes pleasure in dealing pain to people, native borns. So he enjoys torturing them and considers it a form of entertainment, stuff like that. And when I'm writing characters that are doing violent things to each other, I can relate more to that, just because it's something that I would never do, but I want to sometimes. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I got my trigger people in my head that I'm like, if there was no law and I could get away with it,
purge. All right. I have another question from the audience for you.
Sweet.
From Dana Brown Dolan. What are some of your favorite writers, authors, or reads?
See, it used to be J.K. Rowling, y'all. Ignore my fucking pajama bottoms, because I was only going to be oh well.
Sitting down.
Yeah, that was my plan.
Yeah.
This one, and there's also it's fine. I'm using like my favorite books to prop up my books. Just ignore me. It's fine.
Good job. It's totally fine.
Yeah, I do that also.
So it used to be She Who Must Not Be Named, because she's what got, like, the Harry Potter series is what got me interested in writing to begin with. When I was reading her books, I was like, oh, okay. It finally like clicked in my head that I could write a whole ass book as long as I just put one word after another, one sentence after another, making paragraphs one after another until I got chapters, and then chapters after chapters, and then all of a sudden I got a fucking book. And for whatever reason, when I was 12, that's when it finally hit me that I could actually do this for a living. And I was like, I am going to be an author. I don't care if I'm like 60 by the time I fucking do it. I really thought I'd be made it by now, but but my favorite authors right now are Anaya and LJ's I Am Cameron. I love this. I'm only on chapter 17 because I want to read the last part out loud and put my commentary in it. So I want to do that at some point. I need to ask her permission. She never did really respond. I'm going to ask her. But I love this because it's about a boy who is basically in a horrible family background where or in a horrible family with his stepfather and his mom, and his stepfather was like in drugs, and so was his mom and shit. Like he was just really abused his entire fucking life. It's like The Boy Who Lived. But eventually, and this happens in the very beginning, he gets wind that his stepdad, is going to sell him for drugs. So he's like, I'm leaving. So he does get saved by some family he didn't know he had. And it's a story of him kind of like healing and overcoming that abusive background. And then there's The Old Love and the New by Alistair Karadec, which is one of my all-time fucking favorites. The end will make you cry. It's just tragedy. I yelled at the author, even though he is my favorite person. And he gave me my first binder when I was believing that I was transitioning into transitioning in general. So I was planning on, anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, he's a good friend. And this is a world where all women are just gone. They've been sent to fucking internment camps way back when. And everyone thinks that all the women are dead, but they're not. And one escapes, and it's about how Sid and his unrequited love, Jamie, is sheltering this woman that escaped from the internment camps and figuring out what's actually going on in the world, and the government doesn't like it. So those are my two favorite authors right now, is Anayat LJ and Alistair Karadec. Although I do love Carmina the Black Dragon. And TJ, of course. But I don't have your book to hold up.
Yes, I've started writing again on TJ. So
I was gonna say good, because I was gonna say y'all already know that I put up the pre-order link for the Saints Blood, so that was pretty much the majority of my day. Like I would say, that was just the majority of my day.
there's another great question here for you, Luke.
Yes.
By T-Paw's Playground. What are your favorite scenes in the book, and where do you think your biggest growth is as a writer / storyteller?
That favorite scenes in the book are any of them that deal with like severe emotions. There's one scene, and I'm gonna have to block out fucking names because I don't want to spoil for Cornelia. But the main character, Julian, is triggered really badly by something he remembers. You'll get to it. And he is, I show how to actually help somebody through a panic attack in the book. I really enjoyed that. It was a nice way to kind of like showcase how to deal with anxiety and how to get through an anxiety attack. But it was also a good bonding experience for those two characters. There's another scene that I really liked about how sometimes, even though you're really in love with somebody, it's important to let them go because they've become toxic, not only to you, but to the people around you as well. They're endangering the people around you. So even though you feel like you're really in love and like you really want to be with this person, sometimes it's best to just let them go. I've really enjoyed that scene where this character came to terms with that and left that relationship. And where I think that my biggest growth as a writer or storyteller is, that would have to be descriptions. Because for me, I used to write page-long fucking paragraphs. All right, that's just who I was. Like, I did not know how to be concise, and I would just write. And it's like, we don't need to know every fucking detail. Like, she brought her right hand to her face, and then she, like, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't need all that info. So I think learning balance and description would be my biggest growth as a writer.
Okay. I have a question from my DMs. The person wants to remain anonymous. I don't know why, but because it's a very simple question. What genre does Lucid fall in?
Oh, okay. That is fantasy. Although some people say that there's a bit of sci-fi elements in it, which I agree when we get to telepaths and things like that. But all of that is spiritual, like it's technology based on spiritual energy. So I count it as fantasy. My editor calls it speculative fiction, but my genre, as everyone knows, is trauma. So if you pick up one of my books, just expect it to be triggering. Like, just expect that if it says L.R. Evans, count that as your content warning right there. I like writing about people that's gone through some fucking shit and how they overcome that process. That's what I enjoy writing. I'm never gratuitous with it. I'm not going to, go into like deep detail about like an abusive situation, because I just don't feel like that's necessary. A lot of times I allude to certain things, and it's more about the healing process than it is the actual event that caused the trauma. But yeah, I'm a trauma genre writer. But this is a polyamorous fantasy. That's what this one is. This series.
Okay. Now, I have a very serious question here from Marnie Hill.
Oh my God.
Lies.
Do you find Cornelia's cat ears triggering?
Meow. Meow.
We love you, Marnie. I had to throw it up. I just had to throw it up. Okay, I'm going to wait for more questions to come up and all that, unless you have some in there that you saw
I was
that
actually
you liked.
Yeah, no, I was actually going to say there was another question from Dana that said, if there's time later, question, where's the boundary of your genre or fantasy scary horror? But yeah, I think I'll just go with where's the boundary of your genre? There it is. Yeah, that one.
Boundaries. It's mainly, I don't give myself any kind of boundaries. I don't like to limit myself at all in my writing, because it's an outlet first and a form of entertainment for others later. I do want it to be entertaining to others, obviously, but for me, it's an outlet for a lot of my emotions. So I don't really have like a boundary so much as probably the one thing is not being gratuitous. That's basically it. Like, I don't need to include a big long 3-page R scene in the book, if you know what I mean. I don't need to put all that in there. There is torture in the book, but that is even limited to, I think, half a page. Like, I don't really go really like deep into it unless like it's something more like that half page one that I'm talking about. That one is for it is because it's a major turning point in the book, and I have to showcase that a little bit more so that it makes sense later for why another character swoops in and like basically endangers the government in general, like the system in general. So it's like, oh yeah, the government might just fucking fall apart now because you did this. So I kind of had to explain that a little bit more, but still, even with something that big and needing that as a catalyst, I kept it to like half a page for description, because I don't feel like somebody needs to slog through 3 pages of this. For me personally, that's how I write,
Right.
But that's like my only boundary.
I was gonna say, listen, like, I mean, I've written scenes similar to that, and I'm like, how far should I go with this just to make a point where it's like, okay, that's it, stop right there. Like, all right, cool, we're just gonna cut it off like right there. So I have a question, and this is something that I've actually noticed predominantly, like, about this world that you've created. It is so rich. It is really, really rich. Like, it has it feels like it's just really well built. It feels like a civilization. Like, I can tell that there was real work put into that. And now I really want to know, like, what was your inspiration with creating the world when it came to creating Realm, or is world building just kind of your thing?
Well, a lot of my spirituality went into the world.
Okay.
A lot of things that I believe, like I believe in reincarnation. I believe that the spirit comes back and back and back. Yep.
Me too.
I believe in like soul families, which you'll get to that part later on in the book. But I believe that it's more of a chosen thing, and that it's not forever. It doesn't have to be. You can break ties with whoever you want. Like, I don't believe in that fate shit. Unless you've created the fate, in which case it's not really fate, is it?
Right.
So a lot of my spiritual beliefs went into it. And that's kind of how I built up the world. That's why, but I also kind of looked at the anecdotal evidence of astral projection and out of body experiences, near death experiences, dreams, like the structure of dreams, you know, the 4 stages of dreams, the REM stage and stuff like that. And what we actually do know of dreams at this point scientifically, because we don't know a lot. I put all of that in there and just tried to mix the spiritual with the scientific and create something that after you're done reading the book, you're like, what if that could happen? Like, what if I go to sleep tonight and I wake up in this common realm, like, and then I just go to like a new dimension. Like, I want to write it in a way to where people can suspend their disbelief to the point that this could actually happen in real life. Like, obviously, you're not going to really believe that it's going to happen in real life. Maybe some people will. I don't know. Yay, if I get that super fan, I'm going to like write back and get kidnapped. But oh shit. You're on the same coast as me.
It's okay. Ohio's not real. You don't have anything to worry about.
Into the black hole with everybody else. Like, be careful. but yeah, so I just built it around my spiritual beliefs and what I knew of scientific information about dreams and anecdotal evidence from out of body experiences, reincarnation, stuff like that. So that's where like the common realm comes from, and the subsea and the chaos realms, which I'm exploring more in book 2. I can't wait. The chaos realms are going to be lit.
Well, listen, I was going to say, now that we've segued into the spiritual stuff, which I did pick up on a lot of those elements too, and a little bit of the sci-fi aspects. By the by, I need you to know my favorite description throughout the entire book, out of most of the descriptions that you gave me, was the Sandman. Now, granted, that was like, I had made it to that point, so I'm sure, like, I know it's going to get better, like, as this story progresses. But as of right now, that was my favorite fucking description. I was like, holy hell, this thing is monstrous. What the fuck am I looking at? It was beautifully done. It was genius. I love your book. I can't wait to finish it. Like, so hi, that's me. But before I forget, you also do tarot card readings, yes? Because we had segued into the spiritual stuff. So how long have you been doing tarot cards, or been on your spiritual journey?
Oh, when did I ditch Christianity? I want to say 26, 25, something like that. So I am coming up on 32. So it's probably been about 7 years, I want to say. Because like it has to be 8 years, because I when I got my cats, that's was like the beginning of it. Because it sad but funny story. I tried to save my other cat with witchcraft because I know it's sad. My cat Leo had a urinary tract blockage, and I couldn't afford the surgery that would save him because it was $6,000, and I was in my early 20s. So I had to let my cat get put down. I couldn't even be in the room with him because like I was that poor. It was like I had to surrender him to the Humane Society. Like, here's $10, kill my cat. Thanks. And then just sob all the way home. So anyway, I tried to save my cat with witchcraft before that happened. And obviously it didn't work. There's no substitute for actual medical care when you have a serious medical situation. But that was my first foray into learning more about spirituality. I'd known about it before because I had a friend that was into witchcraft and paganism. So I did try to learn a little bit more about that after the passing of my Leo bear. But I had my cats at the same time. So yeah, 8 years is how long I've been practicing with tarot card readings, crystals, pendulums. I suck at scrying, so I don't scry. But tarot cards is like my number one divination technique. I'm pretty accurate with it. even though I still read from the book. But I'm pretty accurate with it, and I get good results with tarot card readings.
I was gonna say at some point I feel like because this was like you had introduced this to me as like your thing, and like now that I'm like kind of starting to get into it, right? Like I feel like now I have to give you a reading in return at some point. Like
I don't
at some
think I
point.
stopped reading for myself. I can't trust the cards. I'm like, bitch, whatever. They're like, okay, I'll put it down. So, I mean, I told you to get your shit together, but you didn't listen. My cards are mean. Paul.
I just wanted to say, with being the atheist in the room, a spiritual atheist, which I think people think that's an oxymoron, but look up the definitions, learn them. I've had both of these wonderful ladies do a reading for me. And just to let you know, they're both very empathic people. Their connections with your feelings are very, very strong. And both of them who did a reading for me were just dead on fucking accurate. Scary accurate. So definitely connect up with them and get a reading if they're going to put it out there and all that, get a reading. They're just dead on accurate. Very good. Very impressed.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, listen, because Luke, at the time that you gave me that message, like it was just one of those pivotal moments for me. And again, not to get too mushy on the show or anything, but I'm so glad that we did meet like the way that we have. Like I truly love and appreciate all of you, and even more so for like coming on to the show. Like at some point, I am gonna invite you on my podcast show too. At some point, so same. I was going to say I'm going to invite Paul on the show too. Yes, so we can talk about the red herring effect. Listen, my family is huge on politics. My family is huge on politics. Like, can I tell? I actually would fall asleep to the news, like, because they played it all day long. So yeah, I'm definitely going to read it and share your book with them.
Excellent. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Let me see. Do I have another question? No, it was just Marnie. Yeah, no more questions on there. And let's see. Of course, T-Paw is fascinated with your ears, Cornelia. Cornelia's cat ears took a trip to the mythical Ohio. Gotta love that.
Yes.
Gotta love that.
I was gonna say yes. But
now,
I was trying to think of another question if I had one. Go ahead, Paul.
I have a question and all that.
Go
ahead. The Double Zone. When are you getting back to that?
The Devil's Name.
Oh, the Devil's Name.
Yes, the Devil's Name. I'm sorry. The Devil's Name. When are you getting back to it? You've read in spaces, and like I said, you're a fabulous world builder, a fabulous character builder. I love the Devil's Name. When are you getting back to that?
I have this thing where I do enjoy doing a lot of world building and doing a lot of different stories and different ideas as they come to me. But the problem is that if I don't only just focus on one, then I never finish anything. So I'm going to have to focus on the Rimworld trilogy first, work on Insomnia. I just name dropped. Yeah, the second book's named Insomnia, guys. Yay. But anyway, so I'm working on Insomnia, and then I'll finish the third book, which I know the title of it too, but you can't drag it out of me. And then the third book's going to be finished, and then I'll probably either work on The Devil's Name, or I will work on Head Over Paws, or I see that T-Paw says, what are the plans for future works do you have? I'm telling you. The Devil's Name is obviously about vampires and fairies, which is so fucking fun because they like do some strange shit with them. I'm excited. It's just gay. That's basically the thriller. I love it. Head Over Paws, which is about a Norse god that comes to support some chick in cat form, which is going to be fun. But then he ends up falling in love with the person. So I think that's going to be kind of fucking weird and awesome. So that's what I'm doing. I got Tone Trials, which is a fictionalization of the already fictional Bible. I'm joking. Please don't come for me, Christians. I'm sorry. Like, Christianity is a valid religion. I'm just fucking around. But anyway, I kind of fictionalized the book of Revelations. And basically, these 3 chosen people go into 7 different books that are the 7 seals of the apocalypse. And if they overcome their trials in the 7 books, then the apocalypse doesn't happen. If they fuck up, goodbye, Earth. So that's something that I'm working on. I have like a bunch of fucking books, honestly. So many book series and books that I'm working on. They're a stack of fucking notebooks that's fucking high of shit that I want to work on. But Lucid is the Remote Trilogy is what I'm focusing on now. And then I'll probably do Tone Trials next, to be completely honest. I like The Devil's Name. I wish I could find some time in between to do that. Maybe I'll get better at balance this coming year, and I'll be able to like put in some more chapters for Kindle Vella. I don't like to do anything halfway. You know what I mean, Paul? I don't like to half-ass anything. So when I put my effort into something, I put all of my effort into it. And I would feel bad if I half-assed something just because it was on Kindle Vella. And I feel like that's what I'll end up doing if I split my focus.
Okay, well, I have one more question for you then. Now, you remember the whole fog adventure, right? I'm bringing that in for a point of time, okay? After the fog interest, you were writing another book utilizing all the people that you've connected with in spaces, where Marnie was the spaceship.
No, that was Mark. Mark did that, not me.
Mark. Yeah, that was Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, because we just kept fucking with him. He was like, "No one's the spaceship."
Right. Yep.
But what wasn't there a story? No, hold on. Right. But there was a story that you were writing where Diana was in it, I was in it, you were in it. Jay had been kidnapped.
I see. Yeah, the quote one. Honestly, that one was just for funsies. Like, I feel like you guys know how it is. Like, if you latch onto an idea where you're like, "Oh, this is really fun. I'm gonna do it," and then you start playing with it, and you're like, it just kind of runs out of steam. That's kind of what happened with that one. So
okay, all right.
I don't feel
I was loving
like
that. I was loving that one. I was loving it. You know, I mean, I was a character in it, so I was loving it.
I love Marnie's comment. She said, "Mark did not want me to be the spaceship." He was very adamant about that. Oh my God, he was, especially when like Luke was dead, when Luke was mommy, but you're like, "No, I'm daddy." Like,
now I'm both. Fuck it. I'm mommy and daddy, honey.
I gotta let people know too. You know, we have some fabulous spaces. Whether it's Luke hosting, whether it's me hosting, Jay hosting, Henry hosting, whoever hosts, doesn't matter who's hosting. It's usually a pretty damn fabulous space, and we talk about things like vampire, zombie cannibalism. Is eating zombies cannibalism? I mean, we go into all these different things that would just blow you away. Is Marnie a spaceship? Okay. Take a note of Luke's Twitter. Okay. Make sure that you get on Twitter and follow Luke. Make sure that you get on Twitter and you follow Cornelia. Okay. Excuse me.
And you do have the ability to super follow Cornelia right now too, which I suggest
yes,
you do for
super
some behind
follow.
the scenes shit.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
So make sure you get on there and follow both of them. And of course, you have my Twitter. Follow me. And then to top it off, after this show's over, we have a behind the scenes. And this is my Patreon. You can become a member and join my Patreon and see the behind the scenes. Now, I have one episode on there right now, and that was Jay crashing a wedding. So if you want the details on that conversation, you'll have to become a member. But yes, follow us. Come into our writing spaces. Partake in the amusement. Trust me, we have a lot of fun in there. And I'm trying to get back to Luke's banner. There we go.
You all know in the chat, to super follow Cornelia, it's only $4.99. So I don't think it's like out of the fucking stratosphere. And to subscribe to Paul's Patreon, which is going to have behind the scenes for everybody that's like on In the Vellum and his other like 1,000,006 shows. That's going to have a bunch of behind the scenes stuff in it. It's only $3, right? It was $3.
$3. That's it. Just $3.
That's it.
Exactly. So. $3 to sign on and see some behind the scenes stuff. And it's not going to be just limited to after the what's that? What?
I saw that. I saw that. I read
No.
Come into our writing spaces. It's not a cult. We promise. Marnie. About the cult, Carney. Quit telling them about the cult. They're not supposed to know it's a cult, Marnie. They're not supposed to know.
God damn it, T-Paw.
Now people on here at Ohio is called Ohio is real.
Why?
I live here. I would know.
Ohio can't be a cult if it isn't real.
Somebody needs to tell the IRS for real that Ohio is not real. Like, I'm tired of being taxed.
Anyways, the behind the scenes may not always be just an after the show. Behind the scenes. I know, I'm reading the comments too. It could be about anything, you know. We might just have like somebody doing a rock concert. We might have somebody doing a interview. We might have somebody doing, you know, whatever, crashing a wedding as Jay was doing. You never know. Jay might be out drinking some night, and I'll just put him on here and record him without him knowing it, and just, you know, show Jay being an ass. No, just kidding. But yes. So Patreon is going to be. I'm going to try to keep it interesting, but yet, you know, hey, you're just going to have to pay to see. $3. Okay, it's half of a Starbucks.
Right. It's not even $10 to subscribe to both. So, like, I'm just saying.
Yes. You can give up that one Starbucks for a day, and you can see some behind the scenes with me and Cornelia. I'm telling you, it's going to rock it. You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Oh yeah. Especially just yeah. Especially like how zany like me fucking Luke are at this point. Yeah, it's gonna be great. It is. It's gonna be lit.
There's never a dull moment. No dead space at all. If anything, we just have trouble.
No Ohio dollars. No Ohio dollars. We do not accept Ohio dollars because they're not real. They're not real.
Ohio dollars has less value than the Canadian penny.
Oh my God, T-Paw, you always get a venti. Guess what? I do too.
I brew my own.
I brew my own too. I'm cheap. I did have Starbucks once. Because like I couldn't find a Tim Hortons, but that's basically it.
I love that.
Yep. Mute the media. And this is a little shout out to Mute the Media. You can also find Mute the Media on YouTube. Mute the Media is a political channel. You'll find me on there every once in a while. Please check out Mute the Media.
I like how we just all showed up.
I just promoted you.
Yes.
I'm sorry, what was that?
We really did.
What was that?
We were great models for like fucking coffee mugs and shit. Like that was a whole moment.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought this was about writing. Are they selling us merch now?
No, I was gonna say, listen, this is a bowl. This isn't even like a mug. That's a bowl right
A
there.
bowl?
It is.
What kind of bowl?
It literally
Oh,
is. It's a whole
okay.
bowl, but I use this for my
Wrong
coffee.
bowl.
Aw.
Wrong bowl. I'm sorry. You said bowl. My mind went elsewhere.
No, I don't have that either. No, listen, because that's why I be hacking my brains out half of the time because I can't. No, that's not cute.
I am super excited for the second book though, because I'm doing have you guys seen Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like the
Yes,
one
I have.
the guy
Yes.
with Mr. Top Hat.
Yes.
Okay. So Mr. Top Hat, that shit that made me want to put a character that was kind of like a ringmaster or a showrunner or whatever, a carnival showmaster or whatever in my book. So now the main villain of the second book, well, not the main villain, Titus is always the villain, but
Okay.
the villain of book 2, his name's Frederick, and he's the devourer of souls. He's the Lord of Chaos.
Shit.
He comes up dressed in a top hat and shit like that, like a steampunk ringmaster. And then he's got these 3 other dudes with him too. That's I have it based off of a contortionist, which is basically a djinn, a fire eater who took on the role of the devil. So the devil didn't exist, but because everyone was telling stories about the devil and shit, he was all right, I'll fill that role. So he became the devil himself. He just took on that persona and took on all these things. And then I got this other dude who is my favorite. His name is Lamouth. He's a bodyguard for magical children, and he basically looks like Slender Man when he's not in his natural form. So he's that guy in the fucking woods. It's well, I just wanted to share that at least once because I said I was going to share something about the second book, and I wanted to share that because I'm excited about this troop of fucking crazy ass people. You can't fucking take seriously, but you have to because they're going to destroy everything. But they look like a fucking group of misfits in high school. It's why are you wearing a steampunk top hat? How am I supposed to take you seriously? But he's got his own cult. I did that in book 2. He's got a cult.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that's gonna be great. Yes. Oh, I'm ready for it. Yeah, I can't wait till I'm finished reading this book. Yeah,
I can't wait to get it. I'm excited because again,
Yes.
you've read it in spaces, and I thoroughly enjoy it. But it's going to be completely different when it's right there in front of me, so I can absorb it a lot better. Like I said, you're a marvelous writer. It's been an honor to have you on here. Hopefully, we can get you on a few of the other shows and have you come back as a guest on here. Who knows? Maybe one day get you set up with your own show, which I would love. But anyways, we are running on that 1 hour aspect of time. And again, Cornelia, excellent show. You're just one of the most marvelous people in the world. Luke, thank you again for coming on here. I greatly appreciate it. Again, a spectacular human being. Love you dearly. And remember, everybody, be kind, be happy, and may good things come your way. Check out the after show, Patreon. Thank you.